On the topic of funding, I totally understand how difficult it is on the African continent to get anyone fund startups, especially when they're really right at the beginning, right? Yeah. And I think that we have seen some really struggle. An example is the podcast that used to do so well, our beloved Sadza podcast. Yeah, these guys were doing amazing, and suddenly, you know, so for you, how are you going to navigate the terrain?
Okay, so I think when you approach problem solving, I think being realistic is very important. So what we are doing, the work we are doing right now is a proof of concept.
Right.
So on one end, there is a funding problem. But on the other end, I cannot be one to complain because I have not worked for long enough to have a body of work that I can go to an investor and show them numbers. And so it's a double-edged sword. There definitely is. I would love for there to be more money. But I also understand that the stuff that we're doing, the problems that we're trying to solve are extremely difficult to solve. Media business models are tricky to figure out. And so I understand that in some respect there is an element of adventure. So I think the most important thing is if we can figure out how either to make it sustainable or get funding. I think the important thing on the continent now is that people start sharing openly the things that they are doing and where they are failing in the event that they fail. So if the story untold fails, we should be able to be humble enough to show people where we failed so that someone else can pick up on the work and continue.
And I think I like what you said, right? Because the power is in the, I'm going to come back to my words, the power is in the doing. And as entrepreneurs and as innovators, we are always trying to chant the enchanted paths, right?
Exactly.
And solving problems that probably not everybody is willing to take on. And so while funding is very important, because you are bootstrapping and you're using your money, you are kind of allowing yourself to see and figure things out. And as you figure out, and when you've got your proof of concept, I think that's a good place to be in, because you can then go to someone and say, I've got this, I've proved this, this works. And I think for investors, really, to be honest, that's what they are interested in. They are not interested in having conversations with people who are still in the ideation stage, right? But if you can prove your concept and put your own muscle and your own leg, cut your own arm and say, I'm in, right? It's very easy for somebody else to come in and say, wow, this entrepreneur has got something. Because at the end of the day, it's about the entrepreneur and about the spirit and about what problem they're solving. So I really agree with you on that one. I think that's amazing.
I think maybe another thing to add on is in terms of VC, we're still, the exposure is still relatively low. So what I mean by that is these Zimbabweans who have money are still learning about this stuff. So sometimes you also have to be patient and hope that you survive long enough for them to then wake up to the opportunity. Because the world is changing and these are not the models of success that they've been exposed to.
Absolutely.
So, expecting that people come from the West and invest into Zimbabwe, we need Zimbabweans to take that.
So local Zimbabweans, if you're out there, we're speaking to these young entrepreneurs, they're calling you out. Come forward and listen to these stories. We need you to support them financially so they can achieve their very best. So thank you so much. That was good. Yeah, so even though you are still bootstrapping, I'm absolutely amazed that you have done so far 15 episodes, spoken to 15 amazing entrepreneurs on your untold stories on YouTube. Would you like to talk to us about what's been your greatest learning from all these people that you're talking to?
So the story untold is a bit of a cheat code in that as an entrepreneur, you're always going to meet certain barriers that really deflate you. It's like the thing you said about not getting the £500 loan and thinking your life is over. But then when you're constantly speaking to people, what you then realize is that it is not easy. And it is not guaranteed. And so I think the biggest lessons I've learned, patience. I think an example I can give is Pius Ninyewa. He's the studio lead for Alula Animation. That was our first episode. It's been 14 years. I only got to interview him in his 14th year. I think they started the studio after 10 years of animating for 10 years. So some things you have to understand that it takes time, you have to be patient, and then resilience and creativity, because Zimbabwean market is, what's the best way to say it? There's not much disposable income, so getting to the money requires a lot of creativity. There's guys like Tawanda Chihamba who I've spoken to, he's in drones. So one of the recurring themes you see about Story Untold episodes is people in the comment section saying, wow, I didn't know this was possible in Zim, I didn't know this was happening in Zim. So it's about creativity and being able to survive long enough to execute on the goals that you have.
Yeah, so only those who persevere. Perseverance, for me, those are my key attributes. You need to be able to persevere because there is a lot of pain associated with entrepreneurship. There's a lot of suffering in terms of, and it's a very lonely space, you know.
Oh yeah,
people will be like,
people love the idea of a risk taker, but when you are taking the risk, you're very isolated.
Yeah.
But I think if you sign up knowing, it's fine. I think.
Exactly.
I honestly think.
Yeah. So I agree with you in the sense that I want to comment on the hearing of the stories and then learning the patience and the perseverance from others, because for me, I've been an entrepreneur 20 years, right? This is my 21st year, and that's all the life I've known. So I have kind of known that I live on this adrenaline rush that is one big day where I've got highs, you know, and tomorrow
crashing lows.
It crashes, right? But I'm okay with it. I'm okay to have all this, everything that's going in. Tomorrow I don't have anything. Yet I have got the comfort in knowing that I'm living in my purpose and I'm okay. I've got no pressure. And I think, like you're saying, if you go in it knowing that I'm going to be okay with the adrenaline and the pressures, but the rewards, when you make it work, when you know that
you can solve the problem,
this is my solutions, that beats everything.
I think that is the whole point of startups. It's high risk but extremely high reward. So if we can solve the problems in the way that I envision that we can, this is not altruism on my part. I don't think I'm doing this just because I think I'm a good person. No, I genuinely believe there's a huge opportunity. There's a huge gap.